Chapter 3, Mishnah 5. The first part of this Mishnah discusses how much writing a scroll of Kivsei Kodesh must contain for it to be included in the decree of Tumas Yadayim. If most of the writing of a scroll of Kivsei Kodesh was erased, but 85 letters of writing remained in it, which is as many letters as in the passage of the Torah that begin with the words and when the ark would journey, Bamidbar, chapter 10, verses 35 and 36, the scroll transmits Tumah to the hands that touch it. Since the scroll contains the same number of letters as this Torah passage, which is the smallest of all the books of Tanakh, it has the sanctity of Kivsei Kodesh despite being mostly erased. Accordingly, it remains subject to the decree that Kivsei Kodesh transmit Tumah to hands. Similarly, a sheet of parchment on which 85 letters of scripture are written, as many as in the passage in the Torah that begin, and when the ark would journey, transmit Tumah to the hands that touch it. The Mishnah discusses which books of Tanakh were included in the decree that Kisvei Kodesh transmit Tumah. All Kisvei Kodesh, i.e. all 24 books of Tanakh, transmit Tumah to the hands that touch them. Even the books of Shir Hashirim and Koheles transmit Tumah to the hands that touch them. A Tana reports that not all agree that Koheles was included in the decree of Tumas Yadayim. Rabbi Huda says all agree that Shir Hashirim transmits Tumah to the hands that touch it, because it was written with Ruach HaKodesh, divine inspiration, and therefore it has the sanctity of Kisvei Kodesh. But Koheles is the subject of a dispute between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel, whether or not it transmits Tumah to hands. Beis Shammai hold that Koheles was written with Ruach HaKodesh, and therefore it has the sanctity of Kisvei Kodesh. Accordingly, it transmits Tumah. But Beis Hillel hold that Koheles was not written with Ruach HaKodesh, and therefore it does not have the sanctity of Kisvei Kodesh. Accordingly, it does not transmit Tumah. The Mishnah cites a different version of the dispute between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel regarding the status of Shir Hashirim and Koheles. Rabbi Yossi says all agree that Koheles does not transmit Tumah to the hands that touch them because it was not written with Ruach HaKodesh. But Shir Hashirim is the subject of a dispute between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel whether or not it transmits Tumah. Beis Hillel hold that Shir Hashirim was also not written with Ruach HaKodesh since it does not transmit Tumah. Beis Shammai hold that Shir Hashirim was written with Ruach HaKodesh, so it does transmit Tumah. According to Rabbi Huda, Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel argue about Koheles, with Beis Shammai ruling stringently that it transmits Tumah, and Beis Hillel ruling leniently that it does not transmit Tumah. The Mishnah cites a Tana who reverses these opinions. Rabbi Shimon says the status of Koheles is one of the lenient rulings of Beis Shammai and the stringent rulings of Beis Hillel. According to Beis Shammai, Koheles does not transmit Tumah to hands. According to Beis Hillel, it does transmit Tumah to hands. The Mishnah cites one final view. Rabbi Shimon ben Azai said, I received a tradition from the 72 sages of the great Sanhedrin on the day that they appointed Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah to the position of Nasi of the Sanhedrin, that both Shir Hashirim and Koheles transmit Tumah to the hands that touch them. Rabbi Shimon ben Asi reported that the Sanhedrin ruled on the status of both Koheles and Shir Hashirim. This implies that the status of both books was the subject of a debate. Rabbi Akiva rejects this report that the Sanhedrin ever debated the status of Shir Hashirim. Rabbi Akiva said, heaven forbid. No Jewish person ever argued about Shir Hashirim that it does not transmit Tumah to the hands that touch it. There could never have been any question that Shir Hashirim was written with Ruach HaKodesh and has the sanctity of Kisvei Kodesh. For the entire world was never as worthy as it was on the day that Shir Hashirim was given to the Jewish people. This is because all the books of Kesuvim are holy, but Shir Hashirim is the holiest of the holies. Since Shir Hashirim is such a holy book, it is obvious that it falls in the Since Shir Hashirim is such a holy book, it is obvious that it falls in the category of Kisvei Kodesh and transmits Tumah to hands. Rather, if the Sanhedrin did argue about the status of one of the books of the Tanakh, they argued only about Koheles. The Mishnah cites support for Rabbi Shimon ben Azai's version of the debate. Rabbi Yochanan ben Yehoshua, who was the son of Rabbi Akiva's father-in-law, said, like the words of Rabbi Shimon ben Azai, so the Sanhedrin argued and so they ruled. The Sanhedrin debated the status, not only of Koheles, but also of Shir Hashirim, as Rabbi Shimon ben Azai reported, and they ruled that both books transmit Tumah.